What's up, guys? How about we try a change of scenery? I'm in a different room here in the office space back in the rear of All Else Fit Club. This room has not been unveiled yet, so if it looks like it's still under construction, it kind of is. I'm hoping we get what we're going to do in here up and running by the end of the summer, maybe sometime in the early fall. There's big plans for it. It's just a matter of where it finally fits in. So that's where I'm at right now. And what I wanted to chat about here is just another raw talk about All Else Fit / All Else Fit Club and the 22,000 square foot gym that we opened in February of 2025 and the journey that has happened from 2016 to 2025 and opening this gym. So I get a lot of questions about it. This is not necessarily the way I want to run through this, as I do want to do something that's more formal or more legitimate and more detailed. But honestly, let's just get something that's out there, that's quick and raw, so you can at least understand the journey. And more importantly, maybe you relate to it. Maybe you have some takeaways from it. Maybe it's something that you're hoping that you're going to do yourself. So, how did we go from 2015? All Else Fit was simply an Instagram account and a daily mass email that was sent to the subscribers, as well as some apparel and a logo. This was born out of Instagram and social media starting to tick up with the fitness industry. Fitness creators and influencers were kind of new, and I had just graduated college and was interested in trying to impact other people with my message, my motto that I had come up with all else going on in life, stay fit. Now, at the time, I was just a new college grad. My only obligation really was work. And on top of that, going to the gym. And so for me, it was more of a future aspiration that I had for myself that one day, with all else that would be going on in my life, I would still stay fit. So that was kind of an internal goal that I was using it for, but also trying to relate to others because most people, whether they realize it or not, have that same exact goal. So for me, I kind of wanted to just see what would happen with creating this account and creating fitness content. And so, like I said, it was really just an Instagram page posting different workouts, trying to be motivational and inspirational as a 23, 24-year-old. And then on top of it, I had actually grown a mass email campaign that I would send a daily email out to the subscribers to with some daily motivation, maybe a quote, maybe a dictionary. I called it the Fittionary. I kind of took a word and gave it something to do with fitness, and then a workout or meal plan for the day that could be used as a guide. And so I was sending that out on a daily basis for a long time. I can't remember off the top of my head, but almost 2 years. It was a lot of work for honestly not much return. It was free. The subscribers grew gradually. There was a couple hundred after by the time I had stopped doing it. And it was cool. People liked it. I think people trailed off of it. But that's really what the All Else Fit concept was. I did make some apparel here and there. Friends, family, warm leads, they liked it. That was cool. But that's all it was. And on top of that, the attempt at trying to be, say, a fitness creator was hard. The algorithm was way different back then than it is now. That's not to say that it's easy now, but the game was very different. So my work on the social media account was very tedious, and eventually I burned out from it. Again, the return was really not much more than I was able to help and inspire a few other people, which was awesome, helping them with health and fitness and workouts and changing their physique, and also sending those emails out to people. But again, I eventually burnt out because there wasn't really any return in it for me. The account had grown to almost 13,000 followers. Lord knows what those followers even were. I never paid for any, but again, I don't really know because it didn't really result in anything of substance for me. And so during that same time, I was really working on the all else aspect of my life, which was work. So I was trying to build up my career. And so I started really focusing on a new job that I had taken up with the family biz because I wanted to learn it enough to hopefully one day take over. And so I really dove into that. I had met my wife, my now wife at the time, and so with everything else going on in life, I didn't stay fit. I stopped working out consistently, and I still was taking advantage of my young metabolism when it came to eating and drinking. Didn't care what I ate, didn't care how much I drank. And so all the all else fit stuff honestly just stopped. I stopped using the page, I stopped sending the emails, and I also stopped being all else fit. And so this persisted and was further pushed by COVID happening and the excuse of, oh, can't go to the gym now, it's closed. And what do we do all day? We're hanging out, we're doing a lot of eating, a lot of junk eating, a lot of processed food eating, and a lot of drinking. And so I was fortunate enough to keep killing it and learning more at work and building a client base and understanding the business more and more. And all else fit just took a total backseat. Now let's fast forward a little bit. We get to so we were in 2016, right? I would say around 2019 into 2020 is when all else fit trailed off. So it was a few years of trying to run it and get it going, but it started to trail off and then it stopped completely. And then I was not fit at all, completely fell off the wagon when it came to that. And I fast forward to 2021, continued to remain very low key in terms of fitness, doing things at home here and there, just nothing that was sufficient enough or even came close to what I had done in the past. Now we jump to 2022 and I had got married. My father had gotten sick and passed away. And my wife had gotten pregnant and our first daughter was going to be coming. And so, with all these crazy events that had gone on, there was a lot going on when it comes to all else in life. But I had to buckle down in many areas to help take care of my family, stay on top of the businesses, deal with no longer having my father around, and, throwing everything else into the mix that life can do to you. And I had an epiphany and I've done a video on this, so if you haven't seen it, I recommend checking out, especially if it relates to you in some capacity. I had done my life insurance blood work to put a life insurance policy in place. I wanted a pretty sizable one so that my family would be taken care of if anything happened. And the blood work results were okay. That was eye-opening to me because in my mind I was always all else fit. Even though I knew I had stopped with the fitness, I still always kind of had that in the back of my head. But this was kind of a kick to the face, like, bro, you are not. So that immediately did it for me. I needed to get in shape for me, for my friends, for my family, for my future family, and I needed to take this blood work exam again and crush it. Not getting Superman as the result pissed me off. So I buckled down, I joined a gym again, and I got to work. The workouts got easy, so I bought a 20-pound weighted vest and said I won't do anything without the vest on. I was able to level up over 7 months, redo the exam, dial in on the eating, pull way back on the drinking. And again, I recommend checking out the life insurance video to learn more about that. I go into in-depth detail about what I did before, during, after all that, and the results of the exam. But I was able to dial it in and increase my life insurance by $1 million and cut the premium that I was paying monthly for that in half. So that was huge. And it kind of reignited the all else fit concept for me. And from there, we are now into 2022 and starting to teeter onto 2023. And I was kind of thinking of another business avenue to add into the mix. So I have at this point taken over the family business. out of necessity, and I was running a few other businesses. I am a mortgage loan officer. I have an insurance license and insurance company. We have the franchise financing business. That's kind of the main bread and butter, and rental property. And so I was starting to get into a position where I felt comfortable with taking something else on to better prepare the family for the future, for any just in cases that might happen. And so the initial thought is, okay, you do franchise financing. What about franchise? Restaurants were out. We deal with restaurants on a daily basis. That is not passive. Those are our main clients. I know the headaches that come with it. I had taken over operations of the Dunkin' store that my family owned for a year before we had sold it after my dad passed. And so I knew the intricate details, and that was not going to be the play. I'm back into working out. What about something in fitness? Started checking a few concepts out. At the end of the day, they didn't really fit with the way I wanted to run my day-to-day operations of things, as well as still make sure that that would be cohesive with the other businesses. And so I kind of went back to the drawing board of my mindset when I was 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 years old, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. And I had always had in my mind, wouldn't it be cool to own a gym? How many of you have had that thought? You're young, you're into the gym. Wouldn't it be sick if I owned a gym? I could do whatever I want. I could have whatever I want. It wasn't a complete goal and aspiration of mine back when I had first started the All Else Fit concept, but it was something that I was like, yeah, that would be cool to have a gym. And I actually never really ran with that concept. I've run with a lot of other ideas. Always had an entrepreneurial mindset. Entrepreneur in many cases, but I never really ran with anything regarding owning my own gym. Ran with a bunch of different fitness ideas, but never trying to own my own gym. Now was the time. So again, 2022 rolled into 2023, and I got to work on the due diligence, my research, my concept, my business plan. And fast forward to 2025, in between there was a lot of due diligence, a lot of background work, a lot of negotiations, lease negotiations, contractor negotiations, subcontractor negotiations, and still trying to be in shape, grow my family, run the other businesses, and become the ultimate version of myself, become this all else fit machine, using fitness to enhance all other aspects of my life. And the new business venture just happened to also be in the fitness industry, being a gym. And so we were able to keep pushing through all of the hurdles required to open a new business, required to open specifically a large commercial fitness gym, and open up in a timely manner and start making a name for ourselves in the fitness industry and putting ourselves on the map. So we went from 2016 being literally an Instagram account, some daily emails, some random merch, to the 22,000 square foot All Else Fit Club located in Methuen, Massachusetts. Check us out. With, not going to say how many members we have 4 months in, but a lot of members. It's great. So blessed as a business owner. But at the same time, because of our operations, our size, and our strategic layout, our members don't feel overcrowded, and they would have no idea that we have the number of members that we do. So it's a win for them, and it's a win for me. And it's honestly just brought together such an amazing community of people. I could not be more ecstatic. I could not be more grateful, because these people are making this whole vision what it was meant to be by their being here. A big box with cool equipment is cool, but the people that fill it are what really matters. And I'm so blessed and so grateful that the people that have come here to fill this place have done so. And it's made this vision that's become reality actually worth it, and not just another business venture that might be a headache and suck. This place has been so much fun, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it, even when there's downs that you have to learn from, and losses and hurdles and adversity that you need to overcome and learn from. It's made it very well worth it. So if you have any aspirations to do any form of business, something maybe in fitness, I highly encourage you to dive into it. At least do your due diligence and figure it out. But for me, the most important thing was the journey and the path that got me here. Like I said early on, I was a crazy entrepreneur trying to come up with and brainstorm a million different ideas, something new every week. Come on, I want to be a tech billionaire. I want to have this business, that business. I want to open something fantastic that just explodes and becomes viral and all this. That's good, because that means you're driven and you have goals. But how does something actually come into reality and come into fruition? Your journey is going to be key. So I focused on learning business and expecting something to come at some point when the timing was right. So the key takeaway is, yes, I went crazy at some times as a young person, newly graduated, trying to come up with some new business plan, new concept that would make me an overnight millionaire. But that's not realistic. And very few people are fortunate enough for things to happen that way. So I needed to at least just keep being driven and keep trying and keep thinking about things. Never squash creativity and entrepreneurialism. But your experiences are key. You need to actually learn things. You need to gain valuable insights into various industries, various ways of doing things, understanding businesses. That's what will set you apart from your younger you that doesn't really know where to start or what to do, and the aged you that has finally accomplished one of the goals, say, that you have. And so for me, if I didn't have my track, 2016 to 2025, almost 10 years. It took almost 10 years to launch something that I felt was a big business move, right? Launching an insurance company is cool, but smaller scale, especially what it entails on a day-to-day basis. It's more of a supplementary aspect to the franchise business. So for me, I still had that burning desire and urge to open something crazy good, crazy cool, crazy awesome. I am no overnight millionaire. I am no millionaire. But I at least feel now that I have set the groundwork to chase greatness in the fitness industry, impact other people, help people enhance their lives. And for me, that journey of learning things about business, learning things about financing and negotiating and leases, and understanding how to interact with other people and work with other people, because there's so many people that you have to when you're opening a business, especially something that might be retail and large scale. Learning all of those were key to finally being able to actually do something. And you kind of gather all this information and knowledge, and then you're able to put it into practice. Having a mentor is huge. Having multiple mentors, even more huge, okay? And the more relevant the mentors are to what your goals may be and the path that you're hoping your journey goes down, the better. So for me, one of my biggest mentors was, of course, my dad, especially when it came to running the family business, but also just business in general. Having a mentor like him guide me with understanding how to interact with other people, how to lay down the hammer and be serious when you need to, how to implement friendliness into a business relationship when it's required, what it can do for a business relationship when you do that, then how to run numbers, how to analyze a business. And overall, at the end of the day, one of the biggest takeaways and messages that I did learn from him was how to treat other people and how to lift other people and their lives and their businesses up. So I was able to take all of that from his mentorship for me, which I am eternally grateful for, and put that into practice. So find a mentor. That's key. Again, relevancy to what you're looking to do is also huge, but someone that's willing to give you guidance And whether you hire them to do so or you kind of just are taking advantage of the relationship that you may have with them and falling under their wing, or both, because you have multiple people helping you, that's huge. And I highly recommend it. You can buy all these courses. I've bought so many courses, paid for so many things, invested in myself in so many ways that are not total losses. There's always something that I was able to take from them, but most of them were dead ends for me and were temporary satisfaction decisions that I made to make me feel like, ooh, maybe this is going to help me do something pretty quickly with quick results and something that's going to blow up really quick. That's not realistic all the time. Again, very few are that lucky. But the journey, the work, the experiences that you're actually building upon on a daily basis from doing things, soaking things up, learning things, learning from other people, interacting with other people, working with other people, those are the things that are going to bring out the surprise results, the surprise business that you may one day launch, or surprise industry or job that you might get into. And that is a much more realistic path for more people than one person just absolutely hitting the lottery in, say, business. So be conscious of your path, because it's happening as you live, as you watch this now, as you go about your day to day, and take advantage of it. One of the biggest things I preach, in addition to the AEF message, especially here at AEFC, is be active, not passive in what you do. The more active you are in all aspects of your life, the more you're going to grow and become an ultimate enhanced version of yourself. Think of it. Say you're just working out. If you're just going through the motions, not thinking about the muscle, the rep, the sets, it's kind of a waste of time because you're not going to get the most out of it. You're putting in the time and energy to be there. Why don't you just try a little bit harder and focus on what you're doing? Be active in what you're physically doing. That's going to yield serious and real results. Apply that to business. Apply that to time with family and friends. Apply that to a hobby. Apply that to the food that you're eating and the stuff that you're drinking or not drinking. Be active in what you're doing. That's how you get rich quick. No, that's how you progress towards something of meaning and value and purpose. Passively going through the motions is going to leave you in a passive state that doesn't result in much. I hope that's helpful. Hope you guys can relate to that in some way. I know, again, there's a lot of questions about how did you open this gym? That was a very quick version of it. Left out a lot of details. If you're willing to find someone that's willing to work with you to get you where you need to be, to give you the experiences, to help you learn from the things that they've already learned from so that you don't have to repeat maybe the same mistakes or losses or adversities, and then find your own losses, mistakes, and adversities to grow from, check out my video on losing mindset and how important losing is. But if you can find that, that's key. Run with it. With all else going on in life, stay fit.